and also the crowd reaction that was going on around you.
Oh man, what was it like? That was probably the highest one I've ever done through tables like that. So, I mean, man, my heart was pumping pretty good. And but at the same time, the adrenaline was pumping. You know, just crowd's going crazy, and it becomes a little easier at that point. You know, so exciting, exciting stuff.
Nick,
you've done literally probably everything there is to do in pro wrestling. What is left for you? What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish still?
You know what? I am so glad that I'm teamed up with Darby, and you know I want to be able to mentor these guys in any way that I possibly can. It's amazing to say something like that because sometimes I feel like Darby's the one mentoring me. But yeah, I mean it's just to give back, not just to wrestling fans, but to the wrestlers, to the dressing room in there, and they all have so much respect. I mean, wrestling fans don't seem to want to say goodbye. The nostalgia just is huge, and it's the same way in the dressing room. The guys are, I mean, it's amazing how many of the guys will come up with a telephone with a picture with me, when they were a kid or something like that, or when they were dressed like me for Halloween. So anyway.
Next question, yes?
Scott Fishman, TV Insider. You talked about your bond with Darby Allin. One of the things that I really appreciate is the production value when it comes to your entrances and before the entrances. So talk about what it's like to kind of put those videos together and just what is it like with those days on set and kind of being in the presence of the creativity that you have.
Once again, this is a Darby brainchild. He lives, eats, and breathes this stuff. He thinks outside the box. He's constantly trying to figure out how to make it interesting, something that is not seen, something that is completely different. And I kind of think that this whole thing of the entrances on the big TVs or the big pay-per-views where you see a video like that is going to become more mainstream. I think it's going to happen like that. So it's his brainchild.
Next question, yes?
Hi, sir. Joel Torres from Contralona. I just want to ask you about, do you have any experience giving advice to someone that you feel that it has touched you, like, what's that advice that you have given to any of the talents here that you think is the most important thing?
Really, because I've seen so many loose cannons over the years, so many people that believe that they can break into the wrestling business easy if they just dye their hair or come up with some kind of crazy gimmick. And I'll tell them all pretty much the same things, just quick to listen and slow to speak. Learn first, and keep your mouth shut and learn how to respect the business and everyone who came before you, and don't ever dog it out there. Wrestling fans will look right through that. They know when someone's just kind of going through the motions versus somebody who's thinking about how their wrestling gear looks, what their physique looks like, and they're giving it their all in the ring, and they're putting it out there. They're taking risks, and fans see that. They appreciate it.
Next, AJ?
My name is AJ from the AJ Awesome Show, and I
interviewed with AJ Awesome once.
Let's go.
And I was wondering if you would do any more matches of this style and the insanity of this match after this one.
That would be pretty awesome to me. Yeah, I love to do something different than just your standard wrestling match. So I tend to like these types of matches.
John?
John, I have a podcast. Another guy that you were across the ring from was Matt Hardy, a guy who kind of polar opposite of you, where you're mentoring Darby a little bit. He was with Isaiah Cassidy in Private Party. What can you say about the job that he's done with those guys and what you saw from them tonight?
Outstanding. I mean, really, they're great guys. I mean, I've been in the ring with these guys a few times, and it's always a pleasure. It's always a lot of fun. These guys really care, and talk about two guys that really have respect for the business. They do.
Sean?
When you came back, realistically, did you see yourself doing something like what you did tonight?
No, I'll just be straight up with everybody. I talked to Tony and I said, I'm not sure really what I have to offer, you know, and because I'm not going to have these long 20, 30-minute matches against these young guys. So, you know, what do you have in mind? And he said, how about cinematic matches? Would you be interested in those? And I said, yeah, I think I could do that, you know. And we got halfway through the filming of that one, and Cody Rhodes, followed by Tony, they're like, oh, your kinetic energy is still really amazing. Yeah, you could still go. You could have a real match, you know. That's where it all started. As a matter of fact, Cody, he texted me today. You know, he says, game day. You know, I said, it started with kinetic energy comments, you know. So, but no, I didn't think I'd be in here doing this. But I'm having so much fun. I feel like I'm in good hands. And it's great being with Darby, let me tell you.
Yes?
Najir, Big O Belt Media. What's your recovery routine?
Advil, ice. Yeah, I mean, I have to train and do everything completely different than I did, and it takes me a lot longer to recover after these matches.
Thank you.
Standing up?
Yeah. Jose Montesino from Lucha Libre Online. A lot of people compares online comparison between WCW and All Elite. You've been obviously in both places. What you can say about the difference between both places? Is okay that people compares? Is any difference?
I think it starts from the top and works its way down. We had a period of time with WCW where Eric Bischoff came on board, and you know, Hogan, Hall, Nash, the NWO, and you know, Buff Bagwell, Lex Luger, the Steiner Brothers, Big Papa Pump, you know. But everybody was kind of pointing in the same direction and marching to the same beat for about a year, maybe 18 months if we're lucky. And that was the best time ever, you know, in wrestling for me. But with AEW, and it started with Eric and it worked its way down. With AEW, it's Tony Khan. I'm telling you, he's a people person. I mean, I watch him talk with just, you know, the grips, you know, moving cable around, and he really cares about his talent and treats everybody with respect, and he's a giver, you know. So, you know, he's like a player coach almost, you know. You want to perform for the guy.
Last question, our student.
Spencer Valdez, NSM Today, UCF's student outlet. Garrett Martin, senior editor of Pace Magazine, tweeted out during your match tonight, and I quote, so don't shoot the messenger, "Why does Sting want to die?" What do you have to say, though, to those who kind of doubt your abilities at this stage? We all believe in you, but what do you have to say to any pessimists?
I don't know of any. They're out there, I guess. I don't mean that in a prideful, arrogant way. I'm sure that there's always, in my whole career, even when I was a young man, there's always going to be people out there that they're going to hate you no matter what. You're never going to be able to do the right thing in their eyes. And there's always going to be those people. So I think that, you know, the wrestling fans seem to be very, very, I'll say it again, respectful. And they see that I'm at my age, I'm taking risks out there, and I want it to be good. I still want to be, you know, an entertainer, and I'm having fun doing it. So, I mean, what would I say to the pessimists out there, or the ones that, I mean, if you can just tune me off when I'm on and watch something else, you know.
I'm going to use that.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank